All right, let me get on to the big story of the day, Le Scandale. Eric, stay where you are because I want to play something that Pablo Rodriguez was asked about today. He did call a press conference to talk about this breaking story this morning, reported in the Journal and 98.5 FM, on money having been apparently, allegedly, been offered to people to vote for Pablo Rodriguez when he was running for leader of the Provincial Liberal Party. Listen to this.
What do you know about your campaign, your leadership campaign paying votes?
Nothing. What I've said is that there's a few textos this morning, not related to anyone. No source confirmed, no phone number, nothing. And this can destroy lives, careers, and hurt the party.
But given
I'm asking the people behind this, come on, go out. Show some guts, show some courage. Tell us who it is. And then we evaluate, and someone did something wrong. There'll be huge consequences to that.
Okay, that's what he's saying. Show me names, because otherwise these are just allegations. Although, to his credit, I guess we can say, he says an external investigation will be launched. Eric Duhaime, leader of the Quebec Conservative Party, is on the line. Eric, that's not good enough for you?
Well, it's not good enough because, I mean, it's, as you know, the inquiry is going to be funded by the Liberal Party, I think, and that those who are going to investigate, probably lawyers, do not have the power to charge people who were corrupted and who are potential criminals. So I think that, yes, it's good that he shows goodwill. I agree with you. I think he did the right thing on that, but it needs to go a step further, and it's not him who could do that. It's l'UPAC, the anti-corruption unit, and because there's already, as you know, an investigation by Elections Quebec regarding the electoral law and the money of the party. There's also an investigation of the ethics commissioner on allegations that there could be money that is supposed to given by the government, public money, for the parliamentary work of the Liberals in the National Assembly that could have been used for partisan purposes. And I think we also need to have the anti-corruption unit. I mean, the allegations are very, very serious. And as you remember, it reminds us of the Charbonneau Commission for the Liberal Party. Like, has the cleanup been done or not? Or did they change just the leaders, and are the same organizers and pattern is still within the Liberal Party? I think it's very important questions, and we need to make sure that we go to the bottom of this.
So I would ask a couple of things, because obviously there's probably more we still don't know to this story than we do. And I wonder this idea, and Pablo Rodriguez was quite adamant about this today during the press conference. Look, as he just said now, these are allegations. There are no names attached to this story, but by the same token, you'd have to think that the Journal de Montréal would not have published this unless they were somehow able to corroborate it. So what do you want to see beyond an investigation? What needs to happen next here in the story?
Well, you're right. And those who don't talk currently, and those who don't know, like myself, we talk. So that's part of the problem right now. But, there's one thing that for me was very curious today. During the press conference, the president of the party was confronted by the Journal, who said that he knew about the exchange of texts between two anonymous persons, and he said he knew since April.
Right.
And he even admitted that he had exchanges with Marois Risky on those specific messages. So how come nothing was done at that point of time? What did they know? What didn't they know? How come it comes public now? Is it an accident that it happens a week that the National Assembly is not sitting? Is it because some people don't want to answer questions of reporters in the corridors of the National Assembly? There's all sorts of curious questions right now. And, we're not going to know. It's going to take a while, because all those investigations that we're talking about, it's going to take months. And there's going to be that cloud on top of the Liberal Party of Quebec. And it's not going to be easy for them. And unfortunately, the big losers are not the Liberals. The big losers are Quebec taxpayers, because when we're talking about that, we're not talking about the real issues that concern everyone. I was in a press conference today at the National Assembly. I was supposed to talk about Bill 3, that is a very important reform of unions in Quebec. And unfortunately, of course, nobody was asking me questions on that bill, and they were all asking me questions, about the shenanigans within the Liberal Party. And if I'm distracted, imagine how the official opposition is going to be distracted when the National Assembly resumes next week. And that's not what politicians are there for. We have a separatist party on one hand that is trying to, they're dreaming of a Quebec currency and of opening up 2 times more embassies across the world, and they're completely disconnected from the real world. They were doing that while people in Montreal didn't even have public transit, and now we have an official opposition that is stuck with its own allegation of corruption. And in the meantime, it's unfortunately the citizens and taxpayers that have nobody to talk for them.
Eric, let me ask, with respect, and the other thing that really stuck out to me today is this all began with the announcement that Marois Risky, of course, let go of Geneviève Ants, who was, of course, a former attaché, if you will, I guess, chief of staff with Pablo Rodriguez, and he was still a federal minister and a very close friend here. Since that time, and I understand she showed up today, she being Marois, to a meeting with the leader of the party, with Pablo Rodriguez, with lawyer in tow. Now, she is a lawyer herself, but brought a lawyer along with her. Do we know, have you heard anything more from Marois Risky or someone in her camp as to what's going on and why this happened?
She didn't say a single word, and she went to 2 meetings also yesterday and the day before with her lawyer. I mean, I'm a leader of a party, and there's never been anyone in my party that had to come to me to talk to me with its lawyer. I mean, it must be very, very serious what's going on, and it shows that it's not something that we should not take seriously. It adds to all the clouds that are around right now, and it's not just Mr. Rodriguez, because it's the whole party that is involved in that, because those allegations of corruption were there way before he became leader of the party, and now everybody in Quebec thought it was over. There will always be a little bit of corruption. Human beings are human beings, and we need to make sure that we're very vigilant and fight it as much as we can. But the fact that it's systemic, we thought we got rid of it after the Charbonneau Commission, and now today we have a question mark. A lot of people are wondering, is it back again?
By the way, so are you going to look for support from any of the other parties, from the PQ, from QS, on UPAC getting involved, or is this united just strictly you?
But look, I'm surprised that the other opposition parties are not talking about it, because as politicians, we're all affected by what's going on right now. Because people, and rightly so, in part, they put us all in the same bag, and currently, if we want to get rid of that cloud, we need to come out and we need to be more clean than clean and more transparent than transparent. And for that, we need UPAC to get involved. And I'm kind of surprised and disappointed that the Parti Québécois and the CAQ and Québec Solidaire did not come out to ask the anti-corruption unit to come out. But I'm quite sure they read it. I mean, if you read the messages in the Journal this morning, when you're saying that there's organizer going on with $100 bills buying votes one by one, obviously it's not just the Elections Quebec that could investigate into that. And where did the money come from? Was it the same old firms that we heard of during the Charbonneau Commission? Are they still at work?
A lot of questions to answer and that we don't have the answers for. Eric, appreciate the time. Thank you so much.
Always a pleasure.
You
Thank
bet.
you very much. Bye-bye.
Canadian women are looking for more out of themselves, their businesses, their elected leaders, and the world around them.
And that's why we're thrilled to introduce the Honest Talk podcast.
I'm Jennifer Stewart.
And I'm Catherine Clark. And in this podcast, we interview Canada's most inspiring women.
Entrepreneurs, artists, athletes, politicians, and newsmakers, all at different stages of their journey.
So if you're looking to connect, then we hope you'll join us.
Listen to the Honest Talk podcast on iHeartRadio or wherever you listen to your podcasts.